B-O-A-B, baby, we're bums.
Every good pirate has a guard dog. Hey, Mancha. What a beaut. All right, thank you.
Joe, who named you? Your mother or your father?
It was I think my mom. I think it was a team effort.
What?
Team effort. Actually, my dad. I think I was named after my dad's best friend.
Oh, okay.
Story goes so.
Yeah.
Hey, Mancha. Hey, girl. Huh, Mancha? Say hi. Say hi, Mancha. Hey, good guard dog. We'll walk aboard the top part. Cap's giving me permission. Hey, guys. Look at this baby. This is your boat, huh, Mancha? Huh, Mancha? That dinghy back there. It's a true cruiser right here. True blue. I had a good amount of coffee already. All right, so we've boarded Captain Sterling's boat, aka Poppa Cap, and we're gonna meet, like I said, the saltiest pirate that I've come across so far. And without further ado,
I don't know why it says salty. I mean, I took a bath this morning to take the salt water off of me, and it's been a hell of a storm lately to be with salt water.
We got white caps out here. Look at my weight, it's completely out of the water.
And everything in our system.
This last couple of days.
Oh, salts, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's been the northerlies are blowing down.
So tell us about this boat.
The boat is a 1970 Corinthian, which is a pirate design boat that was copied and then fiberglassed. I took her out of the junkyard a number of years ago. I've been traveling for 22 years. Took off. 1 month later, acquired 2 children that the mothers kind of gave up, and I took them with me. Sailed for 8 years with them till they grew up and went on their own. So my son, he's a chief of police, and now he has his own gym. My daughter is another character who's lived throughout the islands and became total pirate. Bless her soul. But anyhow, talking about the boat, she's been sunk and lifted a number of times through different storms or accidents that's happened, being rammed by ships or other boats, and just storms, being old, a thing called oil canning, when a boat starts breathing, and the more it starts breathing, the weaker it gets. It's like taking a can and bending it. If you bend it too many times, what happened? It rips. I've taken on a rip in the Virgin Islands in a storm where other boats were sinking. It ripped 10 feet hole into the side. Good thing about this boat, it's filled with foam. Couldn't sink. Anyhow,
so you had water.
Oh, 3.5 feet of water into the water
in the middle of a storm.
And still traveling 6 knots, and
Coast Guard telling you to abandon ship.
Yeah. But and the steering blew away from the wall.
No steering.
No steering. Had to steer by rope and jib. Steered into the lagoon in what island? It was St. Croix, Christiansted.
St. Croix.
and dove overboard and started putting two-part epoxy along the crack, and later on got her lifted, repaired her, took off on another trip, another adventure. Of course, there's things, cargo freighters that's hit me, and before coming here, took on a hold in New Orleans in the Mississippi River, and brought her here, picked her up and fiberglassed her, and we're going on another adventure. Met Joe, and he's gonna probably film some, he'll help y'all live the adventure with filming and things that'll happen, the lifestyle, the ups and downs, whether it's stormy, whether it's beautiful. And at times you'll be saying, what am I, you'll hear me saying, what am I doing out here? What the hell? What kind of a creature would be out in storms on this bad weather, ralphing, going through experiences in life, and going, oh my God. What? And then the next day it's so pretty that you have a fresh coconut and getting all the electrolytes and fresh mai, and you're going, I wouldn't give this up for $1 million. It's the life.
Can you tell us a little bit about no autopilot and how you've managed?
I just never dealt with an autopilot. I have autopilot. I have what's called a worm drive, and it's almost ancient. The boat's a 1970, making it a antique, and the steering they put in here back then was worm drive, so it's not compatible to modern technology of autopilot. It's 8 turns to the port to starboard, so I basically have to stay at the wheel, and I've made trips, and it was from 36 to 48 to 50 hours still at the wheel. It's by myself steering a 40-foot boat, rigged old style, no electronics, no
roller furler.
no roller furling, no winches to adjust sails. It's all body weight, pull up, lock her down, jump to the steering, get back on course. Old school, which means hard on me, but less chances of breakdowns or things going wrong. Even the anchor, it's all manual. I still go by hand over hand, no winches, no nothing. So I had to decrease my weight getting older. I've had to decrease 100-pound anchors with chain and a little mud on it, gets up to 130, 140, 150 pounds. And it's hard to pick it up by oneself. So I'm down to a 55-pound anchor. And I had 5 anchors, now I'm down to 3 anchors. Which is a downfall. At times you wish you had more anchors in a storm, but I learned to duck into mangroves. Mangroves are like springboards for sailboats. It keeps a boat from being damaged. It's the best place to be if you have them around. I went shallow draft. I like a shallow draft boat. My boat's now 3.5 feet of draft, which I can get into a ditch and get into the mangroves and tie down. But not all islands have places to hide and duck into, so you have to run and get into a place or find a place where you can do that. Salute.
Salute. How about sharing the amount of miles that you've put on?
When I first started out, I once met a guy down in the Dominican Republic. He says, man, I'm on 40,000 miles. Well, 10 years later, I'm up to 42,000 miles, 42,000 nautical miles, and it's not the same like you're driving across country saying, oh, I made 2,000 miles. When you make 25 miles on a boat, that's a whole day compared to, what, a half an hour by car?
Yeah.
That's a whole day of traveling by boat.
Say it, maybe they didn't hear you. 42,000 nautical miles.
Yeah.
Under your belt.
It's a few miles. A sailor has died along the way by sometimes pissing over the side of his boat and not holding on right when a wave comes about. And he dies by drowning because there's nobody else around. So there's things like that, and I just lost a friend out of Steinhatchee that way. I try to find easy routes. What you in a rush for anyhow? So I pick routes that are, too bad there's no charts in here I could show you. But I jump from island to island. One day hops, one day, sorry Manchus.
Yeah.
Yes! My baby. She's not, no she's not.
Yeah, let's talk about Mancha
If
for
she's
a bit.
not, she looks, no, she's not a dingo. She's what's called the Louisiana state dog.
Hey girl.
She's a Catahoula cur. The Spaniards brought him over back in 1500s to dominate Louisiana, and they were later inbred with the gray wolf, which is, I think, is 200 of them still in existence in Louisiana. We're going into Miami and make a direct cross from Miami during the night or early morning into a little place, Bimini. I'm sure everybody's heard about Bimini. And we're going to check into Bimini, and then from there on we're going to make a dive on a sunken ship out there between Bimini and Honeymoon Island. And we're going to get our supply of electrolytes by taking on as much coconut as we can load onto a boat and do some lobster diving and fishing or whatever. And then we're going to move on to Andros, where Captain Morgan hideout was at. I'll show you where he used to hide the rum at in a cave. And from there on, every island's an adventure. If we had more time, we could go into places like the Blue Hole in Andros, which is on the southern part. And there's some underwater caves that they just found, National Geographic's found, with ancient skulls of mans. We have double berths of sleeping quarters, and plenty of guest room. Has a V berth in the front as well for two
Can we
people.
go in and check it
Check
out?
it out if you want. Yeah.
No.
Excuse the mess, because this is
This is a real live boat. Yeah.
Using it.
This is the real deal. This is.
Yeah, it's ancient.
It's ancient but fully operational. This thing can get where it needs to go.
We're trying to bring on as much water because the territory we're going to be going into, Irma and the other hurricane hit them twice. The water pumps are out. They have no water, so we're going to stack up with water, and it's heavy.
Can we go check that storage room out?
You can go ahead back
So
there.
you've been slowly stocking up.
Stocking up on water, dog food,
Storage room here.
and other items where we can try to carry as much water, drinking water, as we can.
Water.
Worm drive steering.
That's the worm drive. Okay. Worm drive steering, everybody. This is where you've spent
Yeah.
3 straight days.
Yes.
So it is possible, because I'm obviously really looking for
Yeah.
autopilot right now, but
It's called a drilling rush.
it doesn't sound like it's necessary since
No,
I
it's
met
not.
Poppa Cap. I think
No, it's
I'm
not.
still going to try to install autopilot. However,
Yeah.
he's opened my mind to the possibility that, hey, it's possible.
To lock a rope down, some people go like this, and then they do like this. You see how this is? You never put a rope over, or like this, over another rope.
Okay.
It won't lock. So what you do is you look at your last run, and you go opposite, and then in to where this is parallel with this, and it locks. It will never go nowhere. It's the other way, it'll slip out.
So you go 1,
It doesn't matter how many. Go ahead.
2, opposite.
That's it. You did it.
And I've been taught this, so I know now.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of viewers may not know this. I have been, and I'm glad that that's how you do it. That
Yeah.
makes me feel confident that I've learned a thing or two. Because I also lock mine down that way.
Good.
But you know, There's a lot of
That's it.
people that may not know this. Okay, so people are curious as to where Marina showed up from. How did she get here? So we're going to share the story.
Finally, some respect. So I was in Cuba with a friend of mine. Shall I do it once again? Hi, Raulene.
Hi, Raulene.
Yeah, so there were two of us. She flew from the Netherlands. I flew from Mexico, and I only had 1 way ticket. So my idea was to sail out of Cuba, and direction wasn't that important to me. So we came to Marina one day. Marina Hemingway, that's the name of it, right?
Hemingway Marina, yeah.
The first people actually on any boat that we saw were bums on the boat. It was Tony and Jared doing laundry. And we were like, do you maybe know if there's anybody, any captain looking for a potential crew? And they said they happened to know Paolo, who was just on the other boat. And the very next day we moved in to his boat. And we had a chance to hang out with the bums like for a week or so.
So the last time that we saw Marina, she was sailing to Mexico, Isla Mujeres, with Fajo from Turkey. And then that was it. That was, we said, bon voyage. In fact, you guys left
Earlier?
before, did we? We
Yeah.
said goodbye though. Yeah, we saw you guys turn around, yeah.
Well, you waved goodbyes, yeah.
Marina said she was going to be in Key West soon. Asked kind of where we were at with things. I said, well, the boat's still here. You can definitely come, and there's a place to stay while you're in Key West.
Yeah. While I still was in Russia and all this Irma thing happening, I was curious about how the boat is doing.
And
yeah.
we can honestly say there were no plans from day one. No idea if she was going to be here for a day and take off the next.
Yeah. Bums on a boat. B-O-A-B, baby, we're B-O-A-B, baby, we're B-O-A-B, baby, we're bums.
These are the tales of Boab.